Hey friends, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always good to connect with you midweek. Today I'm sitting in an area of the church that we call Fellowship Hall. And I'm sitting in Fellowship Hall because of a sign here. That sign says gather on it. And I wanted you to know that as leaders of Fellowship Church, we're starting to think about what it will mean for us to gather again in person. I can't wait for that day when we finally can hold worship services in person again. I'm sure you're looking forward to that too. I want you to know that our staff and our lay leaders are starting to develop a plan for safely reopening Fellowship Church. We don't have dates in mind yet. We're still following the governor's recommendations, but we are starting to think through the facility, worship services, other ministries, and of course, above all, we're wanting to keep everyone safe. So we are starting to think through that plan. Wanted you to know that we're working on that. Can't wait till we all gather again in person. Friends, I want to share a scripture passage with you today as well. That passage comes from Psalm 84. Psalm 84 is a pretty well-known psalm, and in the middle of that psalm is a phrase that says, "Blessed are those whose strength is in you, who have set their hearts on pilgrimage." Now, I realize pilgrimage isn't a very common word in our language. It simply means journey. And the people of the Bible, they understood the whole idea of pilgrimage and journey because they tend to think of life a little differently than we do. In our Western way of thinking, we can be very destination-oriented, meaning we set a destination in life. We set a goal. We decide on something we want to accomplish or something we want to do, and then we get there as quick as we can. Or we set the pieces in place and we put all of our focus on the destination. That's not how the people of the Bible thought. They were not destination thinkers. They were journey thinkers. They were as concerned about the journey as they were in where they were heading because they believed that God was with them every step of the way. So for them, life was a pilgrimage, that is, a journey with God. And they believed that God was with them every step of the way, even if some of those steps were unpleasant. David understood this really well. The most famous psalm of all time, Psalm 23, "Even though I walk," that's journey thinking, "through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." Why? Well, because you're with me. David understood it as well as the others from the Old Testament. They just understood that God was always with them in every step of the journey, even when those steps were unpleasant. Friends, that means that while we're in this journey of life and in this current stage of the journey called the coronavirus, we believe that God is as present with us in this journey as he is farther down the line in the destination. May you know that the Lord is with us in the valleys and he's with us in the mountaintops. And he's walking with us in every stage of our journey. He's walking with you today. May that change the way you think of your journey. May it change the way you think of life. Friends, it's always great to be able to share with you. Please know that we love you, praying for you, grateful for you. Can't wait to gather with you again sometime soon. Hope you all have a great week. God bless.